Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode, I guess, of the 3-Minute Story Challenge. I'm starting us off this week. This week's theme is passion, or how did you find your passion or your career? So I got a story for you. I have my timer here, ready to go. So 3 minutes. You ready? I'm ready. So if you grew up in the States, you know the channels on TV like TNT and TBS. Well, I remember I was probably 10 or 11 years old, and I got caught up in a movie marathon on TNT. Some afternoon in the summer, I was bored out of my mind, and I'm channel surfing, and I land on TNT, and I was like, I recognize that's Han Solo. He's like the coolest guy ever. Well, what is this movie? And I looked, and Raiders of the Lost something, and I was like, I don't like the Raiders. I like the Broncos. What is this? But I kept watching. Because all of a sudden he was running from a giant boulder, and then there were spikes coming out of the ground, and then there was a bad guy who stole this idol from him, and then he's in a plane with snakes, and I was transfixed because he was going to all these cool places, and he was fighting people, and he was discovering ancient treasure. There was this Ark thing. I felt like a light bulb went off inside me. I was just absolutely transfixed. And during a commercial break, I remember running downstairs to the basement. My mom was there at the time. I was like, Mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up. And she goes, well, what's that, Jay? And I said, I want to be an archaeologist. I said, as a matter of fact, like, this is what it is. I'm going to be an archaeologist. She's like, wow, that's very specific. Well, what makes you say that? And I said, there's this movie on upstairs, and it's this guy, Indiana Jones, and he's doing all these cool things. You know, he's in Egypt, he's in somewhere in South America, he's going into ancient temples, he's fighting Nazis, and she goes, how do you know what a Nazi is? And I was like, I don't know what they are, but he's punching them, they're bad guys, and it's so cool, and that's what I want to do. I want to make sure I can go and find treasure and punch Nazis. And she patiently waits like a good mother does, and she goes, well, that's great, but I don't think that's what archaeologists do nowadays. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, well, it's probably a lot of research, and it's most likely very academic. And if you're in the desert on a dig, you're probably in the hot sun with a brush. And my bubble popped, and it was no fault of my mom. She was being a great mom. But I remember walking up the stairs just being so dejected, like, oh man. And so I sat down on the couch and was like, all right, my life's over. 10 years old, I knew what I wanted to be. Doesn't sound as exciting as what I thought it was. I mean, I guess I'll just pack it up now. And I kept watching, and I got more and more invested in the story and was transfixed. And then he went and they opened the Ark, and then everyone's face started melting. And you would think that would freak me out at 10 years old. I was just blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do. I want to be in the movies. In the movies, I can do everything that I dream about doing because it's the movies. So that's where I am. Oh, look at that. 2 minutes, 59 seconds, and 78 tenths, whatever that is. Art school, not math school. 3 minutes. Yes. That was fun. I hope that was fun to listen to. I'm excited about this week. We got a lot of good stories coming your way. And so stay tuned. If you want to join in on the fun, you can post your story with the hashtag 3-Minute Story Challenge. And look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. See ya.